Mr. Jones, I'm going to tell you one thing. Mr. Jones, I'm going to tell you
I'm not allowed to object. I'm my own counsel now. I'm allowed to object, ain't I? It's only 3 years.
When I'm talking, you do not talk over me. Do you understand that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to end very quickly and very badly for you if you do.
It's 3 years. I don't need
Mr. Jones, I don't care what you want with regard to that. I'm following procedure, and this is what we're going to do.
Oh man, today we've got one of the worst sovereign citizens I've ever seen. This dude is arrogant, cocky, and straight up annoying. He genuinely acts like the law is just a suggestion, and now he's facing an extra 3 years for assaulting an officer in prison. Yeah, you heard that right. This guy is already locked up for armed robbery and serving 4 years. And now he's just digging himself an even deeper hole. Like, at what point does it click for these guys? He's out here arguing with the judge, acting like he's got some legal loophole that's gonna magically make his charges disappear. Spoiler alert, it won't. What do you guys think? Is this dude mentally ill, or does he just genuinely have no idea what's happening here? Either way, let's go ahead and dive into this very heated court hearing. Trust me, it's about to get wild.
Your Honor, my client has indicated to me that he might want to represent himself in this matter. I just wanted to bring it to the court's attention to have the court address that issue.
All right, Mr. Jones, why don't you tell me what's going on?
I just want to represent myself. I feel like nobody's going to fight for me like I'm going to fight for myself. I've been through voir dire, I've been through jury trials. I've done all this before.
Did you go to law school?
No, I did not, sir.
So do you know all of the rules of evidence and the rules of criminal procedure?
I don't think I really need it with this case.
Yes, you do. You absolutely need them, because every time something happens, Mr. Arnold here has been a practicing trial attorney with the prosecutor's office in Hamilton County and Warren County for how long, Mr. Arnold?
Well, if you add in military time, almost 46 years.
46 years. He's a skilled trial attorney. He knows the rules of evidence and he knows the rules of procedure. You can roll your eyes at me all you want.
I don't really care about none of that.
But here's the problem. I'm required by my canons that I hold you to the same standard that I hold Mr. Arnold, even though you have no formal training or education in the law.
All right.
I'm sorry?
It will be all right.
It won't be all right. I'm telling you,
That's
you
3
won't.
years, man. It ain't no time, bro. I got 10 in, 4 left to do. I do not care at all, even a little bit. It's 3 years. It's cut and dry. What happened, happened. I didn't start this. Let the jury decide. I don't care about none of that, bro. None of the stuff you talking about right now make any sense to me. Do I care about it at all, even a little bit, man? It's 3 extra years max.
So what are you telling me?
I'm telling you, I can represent myself. I can handle it. It's not that serious.
Ms. Martin is a skilled trial attorney.
That's cool. I might be a skilled trial attorney too. Sometimes you gotta try stuff in life and never know how good you might be at that.
You ever picked a jury before?
I have. I've been through mass of those. I've been through at least 7 different ones of those. Some of them didn't go all the way through. People got sick and stuff like that. I had to do it all over again.
You realize that if you do this, you cannot use ineffective assistance of counsel as a grounds for an appeal. It's not a basis for an appeal. You'll be representing yourself. You'll be held to the exact same standards that I hold Mr. Arnold to, and it would be a huge mistake.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Cool.
It's not cool. You're making a huge mistake.
I mean, I made a whole bunch of them. I'm sitting in prison right now for something I ain't do, so I make a lot of mistakes. You can't live life with regret, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. This dude is out here acting like 3 years is no big deal, but he's not even realizing he's actually looking at 13 years total if the jury finds him guilty. Like, bro, what's the strategy here? You already got hit with an aggravated robbery charge, and now you're just throwing away any chance of getting a reduced sentence. At this point, it really seems like he's just collecting time for fun. He keeps repeating, 3 years. 3 years. Like, that's all he's worried about, but he's completely missing the bigger picture. If he had even an ounce of common sense, he'd be working on damage control instead of doubling down on his nonsense. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Is this dude just that clueless, or does he truly not care? Either way, let's dive back in because it's about to get even worse.
Well, I'm inclined to decline that request. We are here on the day of jury trial. The jury is waiting for me to bring them down. I'm inclined to allow Ms. Martin to proceed representing you.
I don't want Ms. Martin representing me. I want to represent myself. I don't need somebody that's going to lay down and work with the prosecution. I'm going to do what I
Ms.
gotta
Martin
do.
does not.
I mean, that's cool. Your opinion is irrelevant in this matter. Your opinion is not helping her none. You work with the prosecution. You ain't here for me.
You are incorrect. I do not work with the prosecution. I do not work with the defense counsel. Actually, one of my functions here is to make sure that your constitutional rights are protected, which is
We'll
what
see
I'm
that,
doing
but that
right
will be
now.
tested.
I'm sorry?
That will be tested. We will see about that.
The other problem is obviously you have a right to remain silent. With you asking questions and you're making a huge mistake.
Just add it to the list. It's a whole bunch of them. It's a long list.
Has anyone threatened you in any way or promised you anything in order to get you to waive your right to counsel?
No. Just want to represent myself. I can't go any worse than it might be about to go. It's only 3 years, man. It's only 3 years. I got that.
And as long as you understand that in asking questions, in picking the jury, in everything that you do, here's the other problem. Here's the other problem. Is he in shackles?
Yes.
Okay, there's the other problem. Because you are in custody, you have shackles on. Do you want the jury to see you in shackles?
That's grounds for an appeal by itself. I realize that part. You're not supposed to let the jury see me in shackles, so I mean that's kind of like a tipsy-turvy type of thing right there. Know a little bit more than most. Ain't all the way simple, close to it, but a little bit more than most.
Your Honor, if you're going to entertain this, I think you need a written waiver, A, and a much more detailed, the 12th District, and I can't remember the name of the case, a few years ago, came out with a much more detailed.
All right, we'll go through it. Hang on. All right, Mr. Jones, you've been handed a waiver of right to counsel. You understand that you have the absolute constitutional right to be represented by an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you are not being charged for Ms. Martin's services, that you have the right to have an attorney appointed to you free of charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you understand the charge against you is a felony of the 3rd degree assault because of your status, the status of the alleged victim, and the location of the incident being in the Department of Corrections, that the maximum penalty is 36 months in prison.
Correct.
All right. Are you aware of any possible defenses to this charge or this allegation?
Meaning what?
I'm just asking the question.
I'll
Are you
understand
aware
the
of any?
question.
Are you aware of any?
I don't understand the question you're asking, sir.
Well, you're going to represent yourself and put on a defense, I assume,
Correct.
at least by way of cross-examining the witnesses presented by the state.
Right.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that there may be possible defenses that you could raise in your cross-examination of the state's witnesses or in presentation of witnesses on your own behalf. You understand
Correct.
that?
Like impeaching a witness.
Sir, I'm not going to explain every single thing to you. That's why I'm trying to encourage you to go with counsel here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Exactly. This dude is out here acting like 3 years is a minor inconvenience when it's literally a huge chunk of his life. Like, bro, do you not realize you only get one life? You're about to waste over a decade behind bars because you refuse to just take the better deal. And you're right, 3 years is a long time. Think about how much changes in 3 years. If you go back just 3 years in your own life, half the things you were into back then probably feel completely different now. This guy is so deep in his delusions that he's acting like prison time is just casual. But here's the real issue. He doesn't take the law seriously. And that's scary because he's not in there for something small. He literally walked into a gas station with a weapon and threatened people. Like, at what point do you realize this isn't a game? I genuinely wonder if he's mentally ill or just completely reckless. What do you guys think? Is this guy clueless, or does he actually believe what he's saying? Let's dive back in because I feel like he's about to make it even worse for himself. At this point, it feels way too ridiculous to be real. This guy spent the entire hearing acting like he was dead set on representing himself, and now, suddenly, he wants to think it over? Nah, he's stalling. There's no way he just had a light bulb moment and realized, wait, maybe this isn't a good idea. And honestly, if I were the judge, I'd be on high alert. This dude already robbed a gas station, doesn't care about 3 extra years, and now he's pulling this. It wouldn't shock me if he's trying to find an angle to get out of this. Maybe even run. What do you guys think? Is he actually rethinking things, or is this just a last-minute delay tactic? Either way, this guy is a loose cannon, and I really hope the cops keep an eye on him. Let's dive back in because I feel like this is about to take another wild turn.
She was, man. You know I had to use the bathroom. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I need the cuffs.
All right, let's get through this and we'll talk about your bathroom after that. All right. I advise you that you're charged with an assault of a corrections officer as an inmate at the correctional facility. Maximum penalty, as we've said, is 36 months in prison. After closing arguments, I will give the jury the instructions of law. Now, the issues that present themselves with regard to you representing yourself, obviously, is a logistics issue since you are incarcerated. The shackles on your legs will remain. The court is going to make a finding, and again, if you want to have a hearing on this, Mr. Arnold.
Your Honor, I just asked the court to take note that he's previously been convicted of assault on a corrections officer and is an inmate incarcerated for offenses of violence.
So I'm going to make a finding that you pose a security risk to this courtroom. So the shackles on your legs are going to remain there. Now I'm going to accommodate you in that both the state and you will do your opening, your voir dire, your opening, the questioning of witnesses, and your closing arguments from counsel table. Now you can stand up at that table without your legs being seen because there's for the record, there's a skirt or the bench itself in front of you hides your feet. No one can see your legs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I've already told you that in the court's opinion, representing yourself is probably going to hurt your case, right? You understand, and I've said to you already that the state of Ohio is represented by a competent, experienced trial attorney, and that you will be held to the same standard as Mr. Arnold. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The rules of evidence and rules of procedure, even if you don't know them, will apply to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I cannot assist you at all during the course of the trial.
Yes, sir.
You want to again understand that this is not a license for you to abuse the dignity of this court.
Yes, sir.
There will be no appeal for ineffective assistance of counsel.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Again, how old are you?
38.
How far did you go in school?
Dropped out.
So are you able to read and write?
Yes, sir.
Honestly, I was fully expecting him to say he couldn't read or write too. This dude has been acting like he's allergic to common sense the entire time, so it wouldn't have surprised me one bit. And yeah, I get that maybe he had a rough childhood or some tough circumstances, but at the end of the day, that doesn't excuse acting like a complete fool in court, especially when you're already looking at years behind bars. If anything, you'd think he'd be trying extra hard to get out of this situation instead of making it worse. And you're right, he might actually be worse than the typical sovereign citizen. At least they have some kind of completely wrong strategy. But this guy, he's just straight up disrespectful and dumb. It's like he doesn't even care about his own future. So, what do you guys think? Is there any reason to feel bad for him? Or is he just digging his own grave? Because if he keeps this up, he's going to end up with a lot more than just 3 years. Let's dive back in and see how this all plays out.
Medications or drugs?
No, sir.
Do you have any prior experience in representing yourself?
Not representing myself. I've always had good dialogue with my attorneys.
Okay. Do you have any prior experience? Your prior experience in the legal system?
Just being charged with stuff.
Okay. You don't have any formal training in the law?
No, sir.
And you have no mental deficiency or conditions that would interfere with you understanding what's going on here today?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Now tell me once again, is it your intentions, is it your desire that you want to proceed in this trial representing yourself?
I'm pretty sure.
No, you got to be certain.
I mean,
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this, Mr. Jones? Let's allow Ms. Martin to represent you, and if something happens and you can change your mind later. It's easier to go that way than to go the other way. You can't have it both ways. What's that?
Can I use the bathroom, please? I really gotta go, sir. I just need to use the bathroom. I'll be a lot more focused and stuff. I really gotta use the bathroom.
All right, Rhodes, take him to the bathroom. I'm not going to go over this with you again.
That's
You have this
fine.
one last opportunity.
I understand, sir.
All right. Let's go off the record. All right, we are back on the record in the state of Ohio versus Aaron Jones. Mr. Jones, you've had your second trip to the bathroom now. I take it everything went better?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, you have in front of you a form called waiver of counsel. I've gone over with you all of the elements of granting that waiver. Do you still wish to proceed as your own counsel?
I need to get some counsel. I need real counsel. I talked to my family. They was talking about hiring a lawyer. I thought it was a little more cut and dry. I had a little more confidence in Miss Martin than that. And just at this point in time, I'd rather just wait on my family to get a lawyer for me.
But that's not going to happen. This case is proceeding to trial today.
Well, I'll represent myself then.
You want Mrs. Martin
No,
to...
I don't want her near me, around me, or none. She can leave.
All right, sign the
She's good to
form
go.
in front of you.
What's the date?
Today's the 18th. All right, Ms. Martin, you'll stay behind Mr. Jones as standby counsel. Mr. Jones, you have, that's your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you read this document?
No, not really. Why is Miss Martin here?
Because I'm making her a standby counsel in case there's an issue. She'll be in the back of the courtroom.
I don't need no
Mr.
help.
Jones, I don't care what you want with regard to that. I'm following procedure, and this is what we're going to do. Read the form, please.
The whole reason,
Mr. Jones, read.
Of representing myself was because I didn't trust the lady. That was
Okay,
the whole purpose of
she's
that.
not.
But she's still here and attached to my case. That's the
She's
whole
removing
purpose
herself-
of removing her was for that. Was for me to be able to represent myself.
You will be. Sign the form.
This
Read
form
it.
was already signed. You
All
already
right,
see
read-
my
read-
signature. You already
I'm sorry,
asked me
I
my signature.
misspoke.
You see my signature was on that shit. You already see it was there. What are you talking about?
Let's keep it focused on the ridiculousness of his courtroom behavior, rather than making assumptions about his personal life. The fact that he's out here running his mouth to a judge like he's untouchable is wild enough on its own. Like, bro, you're already doing time for armed robbery, and now you're out here antagonizing the person who literally decides your fate? Make it make sense. The judge isn't impressed, the prosecution isn't impressed, and we're definitely not impressed. At this point, I'm convinced he's either fully delusional or just so deep in denial that he thinks acting tough will somehow change the outcome. Spoiler alert, it won't. What do you guys think? Is this dude just trying to keep up a tough guy act, or is he actually that out of touch with reality? Let's dive back in and see how much worse he can make this for himself.
Mr. Jones, read the form. You
Bro,
said you
I already
didn't read
signed
it.
it, man. It's cool. Go ahead.
Read the form. Are you able to read and write?
Sometimes. Depends on how many pictures are on.
You done?
I ain't read it. I
get the
already
form.
signed it. We already went over it. It's cool.
All right, the court will make a finding then, sir, that you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to counsel, and the court will accept that. Ms. Martin will stay in the courtroom as standby counsel. Other than
I'm
that, are we
objecting
ready
to
for...
Miss Martin standing by
Mi-
counsel.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to tell you one...
Counsel.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to tell you
I'm not
what...
allowed to object. I'm my own counsel now. I'm allowed to objecting, ain't I?
Then you say the word objection.
I did. I said I object.
Yep.
How am I
What are you
supposed to say it?
objecting to?
I'm
I
objecting to
removed-
Miss Martin stand by as counsel. I'm representing myself. I'm objecting to having her here. I don't trust her. So that's the whole reason of me releasing her was to represent myself because I didn't feel confident with her abilities, nor did I feel confident enough with her not working with the prosecution in order to help lay down and obtain a conviction. My removing of her
All right,
wasn't
stop.
based on.
Stop. Your objection is overruled. Ms. Martin will stay in the courtroom as acting counsel. Standby counsel, sorry. All right, are we ready to bring the jury down?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, bring him down.
Yeah, this dude really thought he was cooking, huh? Turns out he just served himself up a hot plate of extra time. You could literally see the misplaced confidence oozing out of him, like he actually believed he had some 4D chess strategy that was going to outsmart an entire courtroom. Spoiler, it did not. And yeah, that consecutive time, brutal. You just know the moment reality finally hit him, he was probably sitting there like, wait, 7? Bro, yes, 7. That's what happens when you play games in court like it's a debate club instead of real life. But hey, maybe he's got a whole 7-year master plan cooking up in there. Or maybe he's just counting the days until his return. To true love? Who knows? Either way, unforgettable case, legendary failure. Let me know what you guys think. Was this guy actually that dumb? Or was he just in complete denial? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and as always, like and subscribe for more. Catch you in the next one!